All right, social media been a buzz over the last couple of days with the sighting of a very large travelling body of light in the skies over KZN. People posting videos, some calling it a meteor shower, others referring to it as a comet. Let's find out exactly what has been going on. Joined by Wits University astronomer, Professor David Block. Prof, it's always such good fun to have you on the show. Always a pleasure to have you with us. I personally think it's a UFO. Am I right?
Oh, well, that's an interesting one. I mean, social media has been a buzz. Why would you say UFO?
Because I know nothing about what was going on in KZN. That's why I'm speaking to experts like you. So what was it?
Right. So let's get to the nitty-gritty of this incredible video, actually, which shows rectilinear motion. In other words, you're looking at motion almost in a straight line of something breaking up. It's very clear if you look at the imagery, something is breaking up. Now, it's very easy to give you all our ENCA viewers this morning the definitive answer here. And that is as follows. On December the 8th, there was a launch of Soyuz from Kazakhstan, and it took three folk to the International Space Station. The one was a Russian, Alexander Muzurkin, and then two Japanese space travelers, the billionaire Maezawa and the other Japanese guy called Hirano. So they launched into space on the 8th of December, and then they docked some 6-7 hours later, somewhere around there, with the International Space Station. Now, when the docking takes place, of course, there's the booster rocket. I mean, the booster rocket actually carries the Soyuz spacecraft, it propels it upwards through the Earth's gravitational force field, which is F equals g1 over r squared. But don't worry about the math there. The point is that the booster rocket then ejects, and it comes down, drifts ever so slowly downwards towards the Earth, leaving the Soyuz spacecraft to carry on its mission to the International Space Station. So when this booster rocket starts entering the Earth's atmosphere, it heats up due to friction, and it starts glowing. And that's exactly what these videos show. It almost looks like the debris is burning up. It's all as a result of the Soyuz booster rocket re-entering the Earth's atmosphere and burning up due to friction.
Does it actually break up, though, Prof? Does it actually break up when it comes back in and the friction causing it to light up like that? Does it break up?
Oh, yes. It can break up. It depends exactly on the speed and the inclination at which it enters the Earth's atmosphere. But according to the videos which ENCA have sent to me, it looks like just like a massive heating and a bit of debris breaking up. I cannot tell for sure from the one video. The resolution is not high enough for me to ascertain whether it actually broke up. But one thing I can tell you is this. The fact that there's very, very bright luminous bobs and then it dies down and it's carrying on in the straight line means if it's not breaking up, it's certainly burning up, which is the aim.
Yeah. Craig, so the video you're talking about shot there by Craig Kolesky, it's the same Craig Kolesky that I'm thinking of, a friend of mine from many years ago, very well-known professional photographer. Craig, if you're listening, next time this happens, please get a much bigger lens so that Prof and I can see properly what is actually going on, please. Prof,
right.
But I imagine, last question to you, Prof, last question to you, though, we're going to start seeing this a lot more, aren't we? Because Elon Musk is sending everybody in the kitchen sink into space as quickly as he can.
Well, as long as the kitchen sink is owned by a billionaire, yes. I mean, at the moment it's restricted to billionaires, right? But absolutely so. I mean, whenever these rockets are sent up into space, especially Soyuz, the booster rockets, in the case of Soyuz, burn up due to friction. The SpaceX is rather different in that you have a return of most of the spacecraft itself coming back to the Earth and then to be reused. So that's a rather different scenario. But in terms of the space debris out there, whenever I'm sent a video of, something unusual, alien, UFO or something, comet, meteor and so on, first thing I look at is the direction of motion. I look at the shape of the motion. Here it's basically in a straight line. And yes, I cannot estimate how many millions and perhaps billions of tiny pieces of space debris there is out there already. And a lot of this does drift back into the Earth and burn up.
Is that dangerous, Prof? Is that dangerous? If it doesn't burn up, can it injure someone?
That's a very interesting question. It only becomes dangerous if it doesn't burn up completely and then were to strike the Earth's surface. But this is the wonder of the Earth's atmosphere, is that it shields us from these direct impacts because of the burner. But 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs were wiped out. That was by a gargantuan meteorite. Now, what happens there is part of the outer surface of the meteorite might start burning up or overheating as it comes into the Earth's atmosphere, but it doesn't burn up, and then it does strike the Earth. That's called a meteorite. Of course, that's something totally different to what we're talking here of space debris. But the point is, what I'm saying is this: you've got a large body in space, and it comes straight through the atmosphere, and it doesn't break up or heat up. I mean, it did wipe out the dinosaurs, this meteorite, at the Cretaceous Tertiary boundary some 65 million years ago, to the demise of the dinosaurs. So yes, fortunately, the space debris is very small compared to the kind of meteorite which wiped out the dinosaurs, which is estimated to be many kilometers in extent. But this is the key point. You've got to be very careful what you do put up into space, because booster rockets are often ejected and they start burning up due to friction. But fortunately, we are shielded from those. But in the case of these large meteorites, that's why NASA has got a whole program watching for these asteroids and meteorites and so on, meteors and so forth, because there's always an imminent danger that a piece of rock can come into the Earth's atmosphere and not burn up due to friction if it's large enough, and then strike the Earth. And that's created many impact craters, the Tunguska event, and many other events on terra firma.
Professor, it's always such fun talking to you. I really feel like we could talk all day. One night we need to have a show with Prof. David Block and David Block and the Stars. Perhaps we'll have one of those. But Prof, thank you very much indeed. So the sky really could fall on our heads if we're not careful. Asterix and Obelix fans would enjoy that particular reference. Professor David Block, thank you very much indeed. So it wasn't a UFO. No, it wasn't Santa and his sleigh, Toombs. I know you wanted me to ask if it was Santa and his sleigh. Obviously, I wasn't going to ask that.
I thought he came early, but I see what you did there, giving the Good Prophet show on ENCA called Astronomy Matters.
Yeah.
I saw what you did there.
Blocking out the stars.
Oh, blocking out the stars.
Ooh, write that one down quickly. I'm going to forget that one. Blocking out the stars.
If you see it happen, you know that, of course, it's spoken into existence.